From political friends to possible foes, the rising influence of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis within the GOP is a potential challenge to Donald Trump and a potential complication for Democrats. So let's get back with Al Franken and Michael Steele. Al, Max Boot, a columnist for the Washington Post, says DeSantis is an even greater threat to democracy than Trump. What do you think?
Well, as some of the things he's done in Florida make me feel that way. He's a smart guy, but I have to say that it's still 2022, and that's what the segment is about. Is kind of the parlor game of who's going to be the nominee in the party. Who was the front runner in 2014? For the Republican Party. I just think this is about, Democrats should be thinking about the midterm. We should be talking about things like abortion. I mean, talk about an issue that Democrats, that Americans favor, and they favor the position that most Democrats. I think that's what Americans should be pointing about. That's what should be thinking about now and working toward.
All right, then let's get out of the parlor games and get into the present. Something that is hugely important, or should be hugely important to all Americans, is voting rights. Michael, should voting rights, protecting voting rights, be a bigger priority for the Biden administration? Because, unfortunately, it's not a top kitchen table issue.
It should be a big priority for everybody, starting with the Biden administration. I contended that the State of the Union, quite honestly, should have been about 90% about democracy, tying the emerging war in Ukraine to our own freedoms here at home, why these battles matter, the impact that they have. I mean, look, going back to our last segment, I'm sure Al and I will both agree. We can debate all day long about the price of a loaf of bread, and we can debate all day long about inflation. But if we can't vote, if we can't freely assemble, if we cannot exercise the rights that are duly given to us under the Constitution, none of that matters. None of it. Doesn't matter what bread costs when you can't get to the polls, when grandma has to take 7 buses to go vote because they redistrict her district, or they moved all the polling places around out of her neighborhood because it's largely black and brown. So voting, Stephanie, is fundamental. And it's not just about, we're in an election cycle. It's 24/7 all year. You've got to stand on that wall to protect it.
Then why isn't that a bigger... Why isn't that a bigger issue for voters then, Al? They're not thinking about it, or they won't until these rights aren't protected and they're gone?
Well, Michael's completely right. This is a huge threat. And you saw that the Supreme Court has taken this North Carolina case, which is a complete threat to our democracy. It's basically this theory that the state legislature is empowered by the Constitution to control all elections without state judges weighing in, the Secretary of State. This is extremely dangerous. This is an extremely dangerous court. And we saw that, and that needs to be an issue in this campaign, not just abortion, but guns need to be an issue in this campaign. There's a whole host of stuff that this Supreme Court is doing to threaten our democracy forever, and to fix the 2024 election, essentially, by allowing state legislatures in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin to overturn the results, as Trump wanted to do, as Eastman wanted to do. This is an existential threat to our democracy, and I'm glad Michael was saying that should be the #1 issue.
Then we're going to keep talking about it right here. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Always great to see you both, Al Franken
Thank you, Stephanie.
and Michael Steele.
Thanks, Michael.